Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double page layout. This one is with, I believe, 6 photos, and they're not the best photos, but they are photos that I want in my son's album. They were from when he was in daycare one summer. I worked at the daycare, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go in and take the photos. So another teacher took the photos, so they're photos that I have, but they're not the best photos. But he does remember this experiment of seeing the reptile man. So I want to document it in his albums. So I'm going to keep it fairly simple and use a Simple Stories pet collection. I believe this is Pet Shop. And I don't think I bring any of the pet papers in, just the Pet Shop ones. There was a couple of collections, a cat one and a dog one, that were all similar colors and kind of played well with each other. But I believe all the papers that I use are actually from the ones that are labeled Pet Shop. The background is going to be this paper here, which looks like it's white, but it's really not. It's a brick background, and that's just from a paper pad. And I just brought that in because I don't like just white cardstock, but it needed to be something light to add a little bit more color and to make the photos pop a little bit more, since the photos are, again, not all that great. But they are photos that show him and show how much fun he was actually having that day, seeing the reptiles. So here you can see the papers that I have, and I have used it before, obviously. I have a few little chunks taken out here and there, and I do have a couple of other scraps. I don't use all of the papers. I actually just use a few of the papers for photo mats, and then for a chunk to go across the middle, that's going to be where my title goes. And I'm actually going to create my title with metal letters from, I believe they're Tim Holtz alphas. I'm not sure. I took them out of the package, so I'm not sure who they're by any longer. But they're just a metal die set that I have, and I'm going to punch those out with the green paper that you saw that was more plain. And then I'm going to use some stamps and stamp over the top. Here's the alpha. The star dies I'm not going to use. Those just happen to be on the same sheet. This layer, or sorry, this stamp here is like a brick, and it kind of looks like scales. So that's what I'm going to use it for. And then I'm going to use one of the other ones off of that mixed media type stamp. And neither one of these alphas actually make it on the layout. I thought if I needed another alpha, I could bring these ones in. But I decided just to do Reptile Man in the green letters and go with that. And I did leave that in of how I create the letters, so I will show you how I exactly created the letters in just a moment. At first, I was playing with the photos of how I could possibly lay them out. This is not how they end up being laid out, but I do keep it in to show you guys. I was just playing around. The mat that I'm putting the photos on is actually an 8.5 by 11 double layout size mat. And I could have laid them out like this, it would have worked. I end up switching it and putting the 4 3x5s and the 2 4x6s at the bottom and the 4 3x5s at the top. And then I'm going to put the title through the middle. So originally this is how I laid it out, but again, I end up changing it in the end. So I'm going to get started on the title here. And again, I used the green plainish colored paper, and that was, it's a Simple Stories paper, but I believe it's from a fall collection, but it matches the color green that's in this collection. So here I'm just turning the stamp and stamping it down with Vintage Photo is the Distress Oxide that I'm using right now. I'm going to bring in Ground Espresso, and I will do the other stamp with the Ground Espresso. And the Ground Espresso is a little bit darker, but it also comes out darker because I'm going to actually spray it with water as I place it down. So it's going to make a little bit of like splatter marks, I guess. And then I'll go ahead and ink the edges of the title also. and then I'll cut it out. So here in a moment, I'm going to speed it up and just let you guys watch me do it. So I'll zoom in here in just a minute and you guys will be able to see a little bit more of the detail while I cut out the letters, and then I'll lay them out on the black glass mat so you can see them while I'm inking them up. So here I'm going to go ahead and just cut them, and I just ran them through my Big Shot, and it didn't matter like where they were laid out. I just covered the whole entire paper with the ink pieces or the stamping. And here you can see the letters as I punched them out. So I'm going to just lay them out, make sure I have each letter, and then I will start inking them up. And I'm just going to use a little round dome foam brush with brown ink on it, the same ink that I used the vintage photo and the ground espresso. And I just used a little bit of both and went around the edges of them, kind of out of screen. But I do lay it down here in a minute and I'll kind of brush it on. But it gives you an idea a little bit more of what the letters look like up close. And I do that to each letter, and then I'm going to lay them on the layout. In the middle is where my title is going to go, and Reptile is going to go on page 1, and then Man will go on page 2. And they'll go right across the middle in between the photos. And that's something that I found, if the photos aren't really all that, but you want the layout to still look nice and, tell a story in the album, do a little detail or something extra to your title or your title area to make it pop and make the whole layout just a little bit better. And then I will also bring in sequins, a couple of different packs, mainly from my stash. I'm not sure if any of them are available in the shop anymore, but she does always have a lot of sequins available in the shop. And at any time, if you would like to pick up sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps, you can use my code Jennifer15 and save 15%. So I'm done with the title, and then I'm going to place down the plaid paper first, and then I tore the yellow paper, and it goes the same way as the lines on the plaid paper. So I'm going to line it up with that, and I will lay it over the top, and the title is actually going to go on the yellow piece. The orange pieces that you see over there to the left hand side, I'm going to lay at the top and the bottom of the plaid paper, and then that'll be my title area. And then I'm going to lay down all the photos, mat them, or they're already matted. I matted a couple of them in the green paper, a couple in the light blue colored paper, and then 2 of them are outlined in the darker, like navy blue color paper. And kind of the reason I did the navy blue is because my son's wearing a navy blue shirt, so it kind of makes him pop out a little bit more. Again, there's none that really show his face besides the one where he's showing one of my coworkers, her daughter. He's showing her the turtle, but he's not looking at the camera. Like, his eyes look kind of funky in the picture. But again, it's a cute picture of her looking at the turtle. And again, I wanted to keep it because now all these kids are adults. And he actually remembers showing her the turtle and how, she liked the turtle as long as he was holding it. But when he tried to let her hold it or touch it, she wanted nothing to do with it. So we thought it was kind of funny. And he's 10 years old. So like I said, he does remember this experiment. I just didn't get the best photos of it because I was working. So one of my coworkers took the pictures, and unfortunately, they're not that great. But I'm going to make them work, and I'm going to get them in his album. So here I'm going to place this one down, and they're touching a lizard that's walking on the floor. And then this is a big old snake that they're holding in the air. And then the other 2 little ones that I'm placing at the top are the ones of my coworker's daughter and my son looking at the turtle. And at first, I place it like that, one at the top and one at the bottom. And then I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make it the same as the other side. I'm going to put it down lower and the other one higher. So it's kind of like a mirror image of each other on each side. And again, that was just something, you know, you can't really turn them or tilt them or, do anything with the photos because it kind of takes away from the photos because they're so busy and they have so many kids in them. But, again, you still want to be able to see the photos. So I didn't do anything special with the photos, just sized them down a little bit and placed them on the layout. And I'm going to keep them straight, which is something I usually don't do. So here I'm placing down I did add a little couple of pieces of paper behind the title piece. That was just to pop it up to make it more level with the photos. Since the photos are matted, they're a little bit higher. And then all of the letters, I did place foam on the back of them to make them pop up. I should have cut them from at the same time when I cut them. I should have glued them to foam, play foam, and then I could have cut them out with the foam already on them. But I kind of forgot, so I had to use strips and put the little adhesive on the back of them. But in the end, it works out. It's okay. So here I'm just spelling out Reptile, and I did kind of want to tilt the title to give it a little something. And then taking me a minute to get the backing off, even though it's sped up, it still was kind of a pain to do double-sided tape. That's why I really don't like double-sided tape, and I really like my ATG because I don't like peeling off the tape pieces. But we're almost done. I have man on here. And then we're going to start with the easy part, which is pulling off stickers and embellishing the layout. And all I use is a few of the stickers from the sticker sheet and then sequins. And that's going to be it. It's kind of a simple layout. I will add a little bit of journaling. Again, just saying who's in the photos and where we were and when it was taken. And I will probably add the journaling in strips and I will add it on the plaid paper. I did add sequins on the plaid paper, so it's going to have to be in, I don't have much to say. Like I said, I wasn't really in the room with them when they were doing the little experiment with the reptile man. I just could hear the kids laughing and giggling from my classroom, but also, like he was telling me what it was about and what he liked about it. So I will add a couple of strips of journaling, how he enjoyed the experience and how my coworker's daughter is in the top photos with him. The other kids in the other photos are just kids from daycare. And that's really it. So I'm just going to add a couple more stickers on here and then I will lay down sequins and I will be done. I'm going to add a little bit of music here at the end and let you guys watch the end of the process, and that will be it. There'll be a few close-ups at the end, and I will see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be more consistent this next week because I am now on summer vacation, which for me isn't really a vacation. It's just a vacation from work. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be at home. We do plan on taking a vacation this summer, but I'm not sure as of where yet. All the details aren't ironed out, but when that comes up, I will let you know. And hopefully, I'll have enough videos and you won't even know I'm gone. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video.